Hi, unruly family. In this anime, couples face numerous situations. Just relax and watch the narrative unfold. As winter begins, we meet this guy, Takashi, who heads to the back of his school because this girl named Saki invited him there. He's happy because he thinks she's going to confess her feelings.
She must want to confess her feelings. I couldn't be happier.
But after 10 minutes, Saki still hasn't said a word, and Takashi is freezing. Just as he's about to speak, Saki asks if he's in love with anyone. Takashi thinks he should say he loves her, but also wonders if he should keep it to himself and avoid a rejection. So he ends up saying he doesn't like anyone and asks why she invited him. Saki just says she wanted to know if he liked someone and goes quiet again. Takashi decides to leave if she's not going to say anything, but Saki stops him and says she has something to tell him, but it's not the right time. Frustrated, Takashi starts to walk away, but Saki asks him to meet at the same place the next day. Reluctantly, Takashi agrees, which makes Saki really happy as she promises to confess to him tomorrow. Meanwhile, we meet another potential couple, Jun and Mina. Jun complains that Mina isn't helping him, even though they're both class representatives. He asks Mina why she became a rep if she's not going to take it seriously.
Then why on earth did you become the class rep?
Because I like you, Furuya.
Mina admits she did it because she likes Jun. Jun thinks she's joking, but Mina assures him she's serious and confesses her feelings. Jun doesn't take it seriously because she's heard Mina has dated many guys before. Mina explains she's had many friends, but never felt that way about them. She asks if Jun would give her a serious answer if she confessed genuinely. Mina then confesses seriously, but when Jun is about to respond, Mina starts laughing. Annoyed, Jun calls her a liar and says he hates her. Elsewhere at the school, we meet another couple, Akagi, the student council president, and a delinquent girl, Kaji. Akagi catches Kaji smoking and tells her it's wrong. Kaji asks him not to tell the teachers, and Akagi agrees if she does something for him. She asks what it is, and he asks for a kiss, admitting he's never been in love and doesn't see the point in it. Kaji teases him, suggesting he might be into guys, but Akagi insists he's not and has already checked. Kaji jokingly says she'll kiss him, but it'll cost him.
100,000 yen?
Perfect, you take cash?
Got that much on you?
What's wrong, are you scared?
He asks if she's scared and she denies it, so Akagi proceeds to kiss her. Both enjoy the moment, and afterwards Akagi tells her he thinks he might like her. He then suggests she should stop smoking. In the astronomy club, we meet Hideki, who is about to graduate. Satsuki, a girl from the club, invites him to watch the stars on the school roof because she wants to confess her feelings. Hideki, fed up, tells her no because she's always joking about confessing. Later on the roof, Satsuki tries to confess seriously and they talk about the stars. Hideki mentions that she'll be alone in the club after he graduates and asks why she joined the club in the first place. Suzuki says it was for love. Then she confesses again, but Hideki thinks she's joking and brushes her off. Heartbroken, Suzuki starts crying, realizing her mistake and that she won't be with Hideki anymore. Seeing her cry, Hideki finally understands and tells her to confess again if she's serious. Crying, Suzuki tells Hideki that she loves him. Spring season arrives and we meet this young girl, Otaru, who's thrilled to finally be in high school. She's also excited that her brother is the class representative. And guess who he is? It's Jun. When Hotaru greets her brother in the school hallway, she's interrupted by Mina, who approaches and thanks Otaru for taking care of her brother. Otaru asks Jun who she is, if she's a friend or a girlfriend. Mina then asks Jun who Otaru is to him. Things calm down when Mina tells Otaru that she's just a friend for now since she confessed her feelings to Jun earlier. But he hasn't responded yet. Otaru tells you that Mina must be playing with him, but Jun says he's not so sure, leaving Otaru feeling down. Meanwhile, we meet a new guy who also starts high school, Yuki. He thinks high school is no big deal until Sasuke asks if he likes stars. Yuki says no and walks away, but Sasuke doesn't let him go and invites him to watch a star orchestra together. Yuki is confused and doesn't care, but keeps listening as Sasuke talks about stars, explaining that a star is actually two stars orbiting each other to form a system. Sasuke asks again if Yuki is interested in joining the astronomy club, but Yuki again says no. Sasuke then starts talking about a dish called takeo.
The other day I had octopus balls while watching Mars. My friend ninja just graduated was like, octopuses kind of look like Martians, don't they?
And Yuki notices Sasuke's passion for the dish. Yuki begins to think he wants to feel the same passion, and decides to join the astronomy club. Elsewhere, we meet another pair who aren't quite a couple yet, Ayaka and Takeru. Takeru tells Ayaka to get lost, but she just looks at him and turns away. Takeru thinks she's mad at him, but Ayaka says she lost her contact lens. Takeru tells her to be careful not to step on it, but Ayaka asks him to help her find it. While looking for the lens, Takayo asks Ayaka if she has something to say to him, and that he will accept whatever it is. Ayaka replies that she knows he was kind to her when he lent her his notes. Takeru says it was no big deal, but Ayaka insists it was sweet of him. She's basically confessing in a weird way. Takeru finds Ayaka's contact lens, and she finally tells him she likes him.
I like you.
Takeru is left speechless. We then meet Tsurezure, who forgot her umbrella and it's raining. A boy named Takeru, who has never talked to her before, appears and gives her his umbrella. He runs off,
I'll just make a run for it.
But it's wet.
but slips and makes a fool of himself. They walk together and Tsurezure notices Takeru getting wet. She moves closer to him, and Takeru asks if she's not embarrassed to do that. Tsurezure says no. Takeru asks if the boy she likes saw them, would it be a problem? She says she doesn't like anyone, and doesn't understand love. Takeru asks what she would do if someone confessed to her. Tsurezure says she rejects them because she thinks it's weird for someone to like her since she's not pretty or nice. Takeru tells her not to say that, and is about to confess to her, but they reach the bus stop. Tsurezure thanks him, gets on the bus and thinks he's nice. Takeru follows and finally confesses, but Tsurezure thinks he's just trying to cheer her up. Takeru insists it's true, but she remains skeptical. The next day at school, we meet another couple, Chiaki and Kana. They've been together for a year, but haven't kissed yet. On their way home, Kana asks Chiaki why they haven't kissed after a year together. Chiaki says they have to be a real couple to kiss. Confused, Kana asks if they aren't dating. Chiaki asks who they are. Kana replies they started dating in spring when she confessed to him. Chiaki apologizes, saying he thought she was joking. Kana starts crying, realizing why Chiaki didn't treat her like a girlfriend. Chiaki tells her it doesn't matter because he likes being close to her anyway. Kana interrupts and says they should be a real couple now. She thinks he's joking, but Chiaki insists he's serious and admits he's liked her for a long time, but didn't know how to confess. Now they're officially a couple. Elsewhere, a girl named Ayan gets rejected and runs away crying. She's stopped by a blonde boy named Katori, who comforts her, albeit awkwardly, earning a slap for his trouble.
I didn't mean to hit you that hard.
In the end, Katori manages to cheer her up. Meanwhile, a boy named Yamain gets invited by the girl he likes to have lunch over the weekend. He acts like an idiot on the bus to school, but come the weekend, he meets the girl at a cafe. She tells Yamain she saw how he gave up his seat for older people on the bus and found it amazing. She also thinks he's funny, though Yamain disagrees. She then confesses her feelings, and Yamain nervously orders 2 more drinks. After that, we move on to another scene where Tsurezure is cleaning the stairs. She runs into Takeru, who helps her clean. Then a friend of Takeru shows up and tells him to come train, but Takeru says he's not going. Tsurezure tells him that's not right and that he should go train. Takeru insists he wants to help her, thinking it's kind of him since she's doing a poor job. After talking for a bit, Takeru misinterprets their conversation and thinks Tsurezure is confessing her feelings for him. In reality, she thought he was giving her cleaning tips. Takeru, being an idiot, agrees with her, thinking she was talking about the cleaning advice. Seriously, how can someone be so dumb? We switch back to another couple who used to be just friends. Kana finds an adult magazine in Chiaki room.
My girlfriend found my stash of American porn, of all things. Hey, Kana?
And asks if he didn't come over to study. Kana tells him to stop making excuses and says
If you're that desperate and horny, then let's just do it.
if he wants to do those things, he should just go ahead. Chiaki tells her they need to do a few things first. Kana says she's scared, but Chiaki, mustering his courage, says he's not afraid. He gets close and is about to kiss her, but stops thinking about what he should do. Kana gets mad and tells him to prepare himself first. Kana, filled with determination, initiates and tells Chiaki to turn off the light. Chiaki is about to kiss his beloved girlfriend when his mother interrupts.
Chiaki, I brought some snacks for you and Kana. Oh boy, I should have knocked. I'll just leave these here for you kids. You can eat them when you're done.
Apologizing and leaving quickly. Just as they're about to kiss again, Chiaki's mother interrupts once more, telling them to use protection. We return to my favorite couple. Akagi is still thinking about the love confession for Mina and asks her later if she really likes him. Mina clarifies that kissing doesn't make them a couple and asks if a couple of kisses make them official. Embarrassed, Akagi admits she doesn't know much about him, but Akagi lists several things about her that are true. She sleeps in class, smokes behind the school, and he's been interested in her for a while. Akagi asks if she'll accept him, and Akagi sincerely says he's probably falling for her. She gets closer and asks if he wants to date her. Akagi agrees and they share a kiss. Meanwhile, Jun is still pondering Mina's love confession. Mina approaches and asks for his WhatsApp. After giving it to her, Mina asks if he's going to do anything about her confession. Jun says he'll tell her later, but Mina, tired of waiting, says she's retracting her confession. Jun is stunned, thinking he lost a chance with a beautiful girl. Then he gets a message from Mina saying it was all a joke, which calms him down. Mina had planned this all along to make him realize her feelings. Elsewhere, Tsurezure gives Takuru a letter. He thinks she's confessing, but she clarifies that it's from one of her classmates. Takuru feels a bit down, thinking the confession was from Tsurezure. He tells her to reject the girl since he's in love with someone else. Curiously, Tsurezure asks if he's going to confess to the girl he likes. He replies he did, but she didn't notice and probably sees him as a friend. Takuru asks Tsurezure what she would do if someone confessed to her, and she says she has no idea since that's not her thing. They walk home together, and Takuru tells Tsurezure he won't confess again because it would be a hassle. He also says he'll give the girl a response in person. The next day, as Takuru leaves, Tsurezure imagines how you might confess to her. This is getting interesting. Back to the first couple, Saki is about to confess to Takashi via WhatsApp, but ends up sending a normal message instead. They start chatting, and Saki asks Takashi if he's into guys and why he doesn't have a girlfriend. Takashi responds that he's not into guys and doesn't have a girlfriend. The conversation gets interesting, and Saki asks if there's someone he likes. Both think of confessing and type out their messages. When they send them, they both receive a message asking if the other likes someone, and that they'll say it the next day. It's the worst way to confess. In the astronomy club, Satsuki introduces a new member, his childhood friend, Nanase. She clarifies she joined because she loves stars, not because of Yuki. Suzuki thought they were a couple, but they deny it, and Yuki admits he likes someone else. Sasuke wants to know who it is, but she's interrupted by her classmates. Nanase takes advantage and asks Yuki if Sasuke is the girl he likes. Yuki denies it and asks why she wants him to confess to Sasuke. Nanase says she wants to see him rejected. Yuki asks why she would want that, and Nanase reveals that he distanced himself from her in their old school. Yuki says he did it to protect her since others thought they were dating, which could have affected her. He asks why she transferred to the same school if she hates him. The conversation heats up and Nanase kisses Yuki.
I'm back! So, who's this girl Kaga's got a crush?
At that moment, Satsuki arrives and sees the situation. We then continue with Ayaka and Takeru. These two are now a couple, but Ayaka wonders why Takeru is acting so strangely with her being distant and not treating her like he used to. On their way home, Takeru tells Ayaka that they should break up. Hearing this, Ayaka starts crying, but Takeru clarifies that he didn't mean it like that. He meant they should leave their nerves behind and hold hands. Ayaka says he just broke up with her, and lately he's been acting weird. Takeru responds that he hasn't been acting any differently. He just doesn't know how to act around a girl and wasn't sure if he was moving too fast. They talk it out, resolve things, and end up hugging. Meanwhile, Nanase and Yuki are still nervous about the kiss. My favorite couple is studying when, out of nowhere, Akagi kisses Kai,
Hey, I was trying to talk to you about something important!
making her nervous. Kaji asks what Akagi likes about her, and he responds that he likes her face. Kaji is hurt, thinking he only likes her physical appearance and not her personality.
Yeah, right, you just like my boobs and junk.
I like your personality too, Ryoko.
Akagi insists he also likes her personality, her toughness, and how annoying she can be. They kiss again after talking it out. Meanwhile, the couple who used to be friends are on their way home. Kana recalls that they couldn't be as close as they wanted and haven't talked about it since. She wants to try again, but isn't sure how to bring it up. Her thoughts are interrupted by Chiaki, who suggests they play cops and robbers. They start playing, and Chiaki asks Kana to close her eyes. As she does, Chiaki is about to kiss her, but Kana opens her eyes too. Soon they switch roles, with Chiaki now an alien and Kana a detective. They almost kiss again, but don't succeed. Yumaine is invited to the movies by the girl he likes and accepts without hesitation. He runs into his friend in the hallway, who is happy they'll watch a movie together. The next day, Yumaine remembers he also agreed to see a movie with the girl he likes the next. When he tries to tell his friend he can't go, his friend ignores him. In the end, they have a heartfelt moment, realizing they're each other's only best friend. Yumaine tells him he'll go to the movies with a cute girl the next day, and they also had lunch before. His friend, hearing this, congratulates him and encourages him to go with her since it's cool she likes him. Yumaine invites his friend too, as the girl is bringing a friend elsewhere in the school. A girl feels sad because she doesn't have a boyfriend and wants one. Her sadness is corrupted by Katori, who rescues a kitten, earning some points with her. The girl asks if he heard what she said, and Katori responds no, he just saw she was sad. He starts talking, sounding cool, and the girl immediately falls for him. Katori tells her he can't be her boyfriend because he helps all the girls. She climbs a tree, hoping Katori will rescue her like he did with the kitten, and he does. She asks his name before he leaves, and he tells her it's Katori. We return to Yun and Hotaru. Hotaru checks Yun's phone and sees he's been talking to Mina. Jealous. She sends an offensive message to Mina, pretending to be Yun. Mina immediately realizes it's Ataru and starts playing along, saying they've been intimate and a baby is on the way. Hotaru is shocked and calls her mom. Ayaka and Takeru are walking together, and Takeru is thinking about how he should treat her. He asks if she has fun with him, and she says yes. Takeru tells her to let him know if something bothers her. Ayaka responds that what bothers her is he hasn't said he loves her yet, even though it's silly, but she wants to hear it from him. He apologizes and says he understands her feelings now. Ayaka tells him not to say it if he doesn't mean it, but Takeru misunderstands again and asks her out. She regrets it, thinking she's forcing him, but he says he likes her and loves her very much, making Ayaka blush. Back to the first couple, Saki is ignoring Takashi at school because of what he said on WhatsApp. Takashi regrets sending the message and goes to the bathroom, where he gets some advice from Katori, who tells him to talk to her. Before Takashi can ask his name, Katori disappears. Tsurezure is still thinking about Takeru and how her heart races when she sees him confusing it with a cold. She goes to the nurse where she finds Takeru. They exchange a few words and Takeru is about to leave, but she asks him to stay because she can't find the thermometer. Takeru finds one and tells her she looks redder than usual. Tsurezure insists it's just a cold and not to confuse things. Takeru says he knows she'd never fall in love. When Tsurezure checks her temperature and finds she doesn't have a fever, she wonders what's going on. Ayaka and Takeru continue their walk. Takeru thinks Ayaka is different from other girls because she doesn't cling to him or complain. He thinks she's special. Ayaka wants to cling to him, follow him around, and talk all day. She asks if he'd like it if she clung to him, but he says no because those relationships don't last. Ayaka asks if she can be closer to him, and Takeru says he has no problem with that, so they hold hands. Ayaka asks if he minds being touched, and he says he doesn't, admitting he wanted to get closer but didn't know how. So Ayaka responds that he should have told her. Takeru then asks her for a favor and tells her to come a bit closer. He tells her to close her eyes, and when she does, Takeru dares to kiss her. They both end up embarrassed. Meanwhile, Kana and Chiaki are about to kiss, but by accident, Chiaki kisses Kana's nose. They both regret failing, but want to try again. However, people around them are watching, so they leave it at that. Back to my favorite couple. They're studying in the library. Akagi tells Kaji that he wants to touch her towers, but she tells him they're in a public place. Akagi says he doesn't care, so Kaji almost gives in to his charms just as he's about to touch her towers. He tells her it was all a joke, but we see that Kaji actually wanted it. We see the girl that Katori saved still thinking about him. She finds him badly injured, having been beaten up for hitting on a woman with a boyfriend. He tells the girl to leave because they might find him, and he plans to sleep outside his house since they're likely waiting for him there. The girl offers her place, but Katori refuses. She insists, but Katori stops her with the power of love, or so it seems. In swim class, Tsurezure and Takeru are staring at each other a lot when they swim. Tsurezure asks Takeru who he was looking at. Takeru says he was looking at her and dives into the pool. After swimming, Tsurezure tells him she was also looking at him, but she's confused because it wasn't Takeru she was actually staring at, but another guy. Meanwhile, Saki wants to be friends with Takashi again, but she'd rather be his girl. She drops an eraser for Takashi to pick up, and when he does, She takes the chance to tell him she's no longer in love with him. Takashi asks if she's sure, and she says yes, she'd like them to be friends like before. Takashi agrees, though he's clearly upset. Ayaka wants to kiss Takeru again because their first kiss didn't go well. Takeru notices Ayaka acting strange and thinks it's his fault for kissing her too soon. They sit in a park and Ayaka tries to get Takeru to kiss her again, but fails. She doesn't give up though and gets closer until she falls asleep on his lap. Takayo also falls asleep and is about to kiss her, but it doesn't happen. In the end, Mina tells Jun again that she likes him. Jun asks if she's serious, but Mina says no, making Jun tell her to stop joking or he'll never give her an answer. Mina then confesses for real and Jun admits he likes her too. Mina takes it back and Jun gets mad. Mina tells him to close his eyes because she has a surprise when he does. She kisses him, but we're not sure if it was with her lips or fingers. She tells him to guess. Yumaine, insecure as ever, calls his friend for help since he's never been alone with a girl before. He asks the girl if he likes what she has, and she says she made some puddings for him. Yumaine doesn't want to accept them, but his friend tells him to since she made them for him. Yumaine doesn't believe it, so his friend gets mad and tells him the truth. She's in love with him. His friend then makes a dramatic exit, leaving the two alone. Kana and Chiaki run into Takeru and Ayaka, who are being lovey-dovey. They decide they should be like that too, and muster up the courage to kiss, but get interrupted again. The next day, Chiaki invites Kana to his houses, saying no one is home and planning to kiss her later. After studying for a while, Chiaki goes to get some drinks. When he returns, he's drunk and asks Kana to kiss him. She refuses, saying their first kiss should be special, not when he's drunk. Chiaki agrees and says he understands, but it was all a ruse. She then tells him they should break up and leave. Tsurezure has been distracted lately, and her friend asks if she's in love. Tsurezure denies it, saying she doesn't know much about love. Just then, Ayaka shows up, and they start talking about how she fell for Takeru and confessed by accident. Tsurezure realizes she's been doing the same with Takeru. Ayaka tells Tsurezure there's a rumor that Takeru likes her. Tsurezure considers confessing but decides against it. Chiaki approaches Kana, but she's still mad about what happened the other day and ignores him. Kana's friend says they shouldn't end things like this, but Kana feels she deserves it. Chiaki keeps apologizing over the phone, but Kana doesn't respond. Kana thinks she might forgive him if he sends another message, and when he calls, she answers. However, her phone falls into the bathtub as she's bathing. She tries to fix it but can't. Her mom appears and fixes the phone with some tweaks, but it dies again during their conversation. The next day, Saki looks for a pencil lead for her exam, but doesn't want to ask Takashi. She asks her friend Nina, who says she only has enough for herself and suggests asking Takashi. When the exam starts, Takashi thinks she's doomed, but Takashi saves her by throwing her some pencil leads. After the exam, Saki thanks him from afar. Mina sees this and thinks they should date. Back to my favorite couple. Kaji is practicing for an exam because she wants to get into a good university. She feels everyone in her course is better than her, but refuses to give up. Akagi is nervous about Kaji but believes she'll do well. He even tells Katori to hit him if he talks to Kaji, not wanting to interrupt her focus. It's time for the exam, and Kaji drops an eraser as she goes to pick up. She hesitates, thinking her classmates will make fun of her if she says anything to the teacher, given her reputation as a troublemaker who can't study. But one of her classmates tells the teacher and passes the eraser to Kaji, saying she supports her. This encouragement boosts Kaji's spirits, and she completes the exam. Some time passes, and it's time for the sports festival. First up is Class 1 versus Class 7. We see Yumaine being cheered on by the girl he likes, and Kaji being cheered on by Saki. However, when they look at each other, they ignore one another, making things complicated. The hours and games go by, and we notice that Chiaki and Kana are still fighting. Next, Class 1 faces off against Class 4. As the game starts, Takeru is distracted, and we see him lose the ball while thinking about someone. The ball is about to hit Kana, but a guy defends her, and it's Chiaki. Kana thanks him, but they soon start arguing again. Back in the game, Class 1 is leading against Class 4. The girls in Class 4 decide to cheer for their players. Chiaki, who is in Class 4, thinks Kana won't cheer for him, but is surprised when she does. Motivated by Kana's support, Chiaki starts playing very well, though he ultimately fails due to a guy who envies Chiaki for having a girlfriend when he doesn't. However, a girl who was a substitute scores a goal. Summer is approaching and the vacations are about to begin. Before that, Kana tries to reconcile with Chiaki, but is interrupted by Takeru, who invites Chiaki to the beach. Chiaki is unsure if he'll go. Later, he sends Kana a message to meet after school. But unfortunately, Chiaki's phone runs out of battery. Kana waits for Chiaki, but he doesn't show up. Instead, Chiaki and her friend arrive for practice. Chiaki asks her friend if she still likes Takuru, and she says no. Chiaki's friend then asks if Chiaki likes Takuru, but the scene cuts off. We see Chiaki and Kana meet again. Chiaki explains his phone died and suggests they break up for real. Meanwhile, Chiaki and Takuru are in the classroom. Takuru says he came back to get his wallet. Chiaki asks if he's going to the beach. The scene cuts back to Chiaki and Kana. Chiaki is surprised they ended things that way in, and wishes they had sorted things out. He says such relationships don't last long and suggests breaking up so he can confess again properly. Chiaki confesses to Kana again, and she accepts. Meanwhile, Takuru tells Chiaki he's not going to the beach and wishes her fun. Chiaki stops him and says it won't be fun without him. Takuru finally agrees to go. And that wraps up our detailed journey through the ups and downs and heartfelt moments of this anime. We hope you enjoyed every twist and turn as much as we did. If you loved this summary, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and favorite moments. I appreciate you viewing my anime recap, Unruly Family. Please let me know what you think about this anime recap by liking, sharing, and commenting. And please subscribe to the channel to help us reach 5,000 subscribers.
Take you